Like, it's literally given, you don't bother nobody, you stay out the way. You know, you know what's destined for you, but you don't look for no handouts. Like, you know what's destined for you, but you know that it takes work for you to put in work for you to get there. I don't know why your success and your destiny in particular, you know what I'm saying, had people bothered so. And I'm really try to just keep this PG and not cuss on here, not, because it's so crazy how we can see greatness come in many different forms, shapes, and sizes all across the world. People loving on one another, people supporting one another, and all this hatred and envy and jealousy and, you know, solicitation. What you got, I have to have. You won't even know what somebody got and what's destined for somebody if you're not what, peeping, looking, spying, like a gnat, just flying all around what you got going on. It didn't matter if you stayed to yourself. It didn't matter if you stayed out of these people's business. Something was in them. Something was to them. And it wanted to completely put a stumbling block before you. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Whatever prayers you've been praying for God to not only clear and uproot this evil, but to ensure that it never has any say-so or room or crack or crevice that it can crawl into to try to affect, defeat, or waver your blessings. It's happening now. See, the rats was gathering, but the roaches is scattering. I'm going to say it again. The rats was gathering, but now the roaches, they scattering, because everything that was done in the dark is coming to the light. Whether you try to reach out to people to make amends, to keep your peace, to offer a peace offering, you're clearly seeing that whatever hatred people have for you is stemming from the fact that now people know the predicament that they placed you in, the predicaments that they wanted you to happen in your life, the outcomes that they wanted you to live through. You know what I'm saying? Everything of what people wanted to happen to you is now happening unto them in so many different ways. And I feel like it's just because people just wouldn't stop. You had to see so much happen in your life. You didn't understand, like, for this level of envy and jealousy that occurred. You know, you have to know that God is real, that God is going to do something to make up for that, because there's no way that God gives you a destiny and a purpose and a calling of your life and then says, you know what, you forfeited by allowing the enemy to sit up here and defeat you. He knew what the enemy was going to try to do, because the enemy would never liked you. The enemy never wanted it to be you. They never, I told you, and I told you time and time before, they hate because they already had it in their mind and program that you was a loser. So when you start winning, you start what? Making people look bad. So when you on this winning streak, they have to figure out ways of what they can do to stop it and to make you lose. And I'm telling you, they was looking into your life in areas of love, of career, of finances. They wanted to place restrictions over your life so it make it look like you know better than them. But I'm telling you, ain't the type to sit around and waste your life away. You ain't this type of person that ain't got no accreditations, no achievements, nothing to your name. Somebody somewhere is feeling really crappy about their life and who they are. And when they looked at you, you just don't understand the darkness that dwell in them that told them, it didn't matter that you not messing with me. I got to mess with you. It don't matter that you not in my business. I got to be in yours. It doesn't matter that you want what's best for me and you wouldn't do to me what I'm doing to you, because I'm going to do it to you anyway. And now they paying the consequences for it. I'm telling you. It's but so much that a person can do before they run out of resources themselves. I just said something. It's but so much a person can do when you ain't got it how you used to have it. Sit up here and try to pay and play that hush money and keep paying people to come after people. It's but so much a person can do in sitting around and moving throughout life with envy, with malice, with jealousy, with hatred and anger and bitterness in their heart. It's but so far that you would get in life. And they wonder why. And I'm going to tell you something, even if these people had more than you, got to ask yourself, then why was they so focused in ensuring that you wouldn't have a piece of anything up in your life when you worked for everything in your life? You stayed in minding your business to get yourself to where you want to be in life. It doesn't make no good sense. It doesn't make no good sense. It doesn't make no good sense. And that's why I'm telling you, at the end of the day, because of how you handle things with style and with grace, Even though those odds weren't fair and what you went through, and I always try to level set with people because I was still showing up for people, even though I was going through my period and my trials and my tribulations. You know what I'm saying? I was still showing up for people. So I always try to level set because I'll never know how bad things can be for people. But I'm telling you, when the heat got turned up in the kitchen, you ain't run. And these rats that was gathering, now these roaches are turning into roaches that's now scattering. These rats that was once gathering have turned into roaches that are now scattering. Don't nobody want to mess with you. Don't nobody want to be around. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you just straight to red. Don't nobody want to be around you because I'm going to tell you something. You going to pick up on it anyway, whatever they feel for you, so you ain't finna let them around you. But people don't want to be around. They don't want to have no parts of it because it's like for everything that they waged against you in your life, they're seeing that it's having a boomerang effect. You know, I told you back in 2023, one of my lives I did, there was someone who called me from Punta Cana. As soon as I answered the phone, you know, I'm walking back to my apartment from picking up some food. The lady like, I said, what? And she sounded like a Spanish lady. I hung up the phone. Don't you know that same number blew up my phone 4 times? 4 times within a 2-day time period. God told me don't answer that phone. Right? God said don't answer that phone. You don't know this person, don't answer that phone. If I pick up the first time and you clearly see that I don't know you, I don't know what the hell you saying. You know what I'm saying? We don't speak the same language. Why would you keep blowing up my phone? Right? Days after, like that. So God immediately dropped in my spirit. They didn't finish whatever they had waged over you or was trying to speak over your life. Somebody somewhere, and I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not saying that this is what's currently happening to you, but this is what people tried. They wanted you to, they wanted to throw stumbling blocks in your way. They wanted whatever potential, whatever, you know, winning streak you was on the rise, whatever the case may be. They wanted to put a pause to that. You got to understand something. If God made you how he made you, if God made you how he made you, do you really think that he would just sit back and even though things happen to you, even though you was delayed, you never deny? You understand what I'm saying? What's your portion was meant to come to you, gonna come to you. But I'm telling you, people made this mess hard for you when they didn't have to. They wanted to sit up here and screw with your life like your life was a game that they was playing. You know what I'm saying? Like you was a joke. Somebody to joke, somebody to play around with. And I'm telling you, I don't care what these people have gone through or what they're experiencing in their life or who's given to them or who's being nice to them or who they still yet have on their side that wanted to partake in this mess and these egregious acts against you. I'm telling you, in so many other areas and aspects of their life, they see that they're losing and that it's been on a decline and that they're kind of at a disadvantage at this point in the game. That people need to throw in the towel and they need to give it up and they need to wave their right flag. Because even though those odds weren't fair, they're forever will always have been in your favor because you don't mess with no one. So because you didn't mess with nobody and whatever it is that was happening, that winning streak that you was on, you had earned that. Do you hear me what I'm saying? When you was on that winning streak at that point in time in your life, you had earned that. You had put in the work. You had learned the lessons. When these people came in and thought they was sabotaging and did whatever they did in your life to cause upheavals in your life, that was just a small rift that God is now balancing out and smoothing out. Because they should have never caused that and did that to you to begin with.